Hi, welcome to another edition of Eating Sharp with Lynn Sharp. Today we are going to make the classic pumpkin pie. It's going to come out really nice, so let's just get right into it. The first thing I've done is I beat 4 eggs, and I really like to beat them well because it's going to make the pie a lot fluffier and a good texture with the pie. So to this 4 eggs, we're going to add 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. And the reason I use sweetened condensed milk is because I'm sure you've tasted those homemade pumpkin pies where the bottom quarter of the pie is nothing but sugar. Well, that's why I use the sweetened condensed milk, so that you don't get that bottom quarter of your pie to taste just like sugar. This will come out very creamy. It'll have the same flavor and sweetness all the way through your pie. So that's why I use the sweetened condensed milk. And if you're worried about the cost of the sweetened condensed milk, because I know it's now over $1, one of these videos I will show you how to make sweetened condensed milk by yourself with your own home ingredients, so you don't have to buy them at the store. So let's go ahead and whip this up. We just want to blend that sweetened condensed milk in to the eggs. Just a little bit like that. Now to this we're going to add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And I like to buy the pumpkin that doesn't have the spice already in it, because then you can use it for a lot of different things, and you can spice it up how you want to spice it. So we're going to go ahead and do 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of ginger, half a teaspoon of clove, and I like to put a little nutmeg in mine. Excuse me. Here we are. I like to put just about a half a teaspoon or a quarter teaspoon, about a quarter to a half a teaspoon of nutmeg in it, because I feel it gives it a nice homey holiday flavor. So we'll go ahead and just blend this through. Just want to blend it just to get it mixed in. Just like that. Then we're going to go ahead and add the whole can of the pumpkin mix. Be careful that it doesn't slop all over. Pour it in gently. Now this recipe will make 2 pumpkin pies. And the reason you always want to make 2 pumpkin pies is if you get hungry for one, you can eat it, and you'll still have one to take to whatever event or party that you're going to for the holiday season. So we'll get all this pumpkin in here. And it doesn't really matter what brand of pumpkin that you buy. You can buy the real cheap, inexpensive, off-brand pumpkin mix, and it'll be just fine, because once you get all the ingredients in here, you really can't tell which brand of pumpkin mix that you purchased at the store. So go ahead and blend this in. And we just want to blend it through to get all the pumpkin and the spices mixed together with the egg. It'll take just about a minute or so. Make sure you go around the edge of the bowl. Just about like that. We're done with this part of it. Now go ahead and take a break. I'm going to show you my turkey that's in the roaster during the break, and when we come back I'll show you how to put your pie crust in the pie pan and put this in, and we'll get it all together. But before we go, make sure you turn your oven on at about you want to do it at 425 for the first 10 minutes, and then bring it down to 350 for another hour. So set your oven at 425, like that. Make sure there's no cake in the oven, and take a break. I'll show you my turkey, and we'll be right back. Okay, here's my turkey for Thanksgiving. And we're not doing it in the oven, we're doing it in a roaster because we want the oven so our pies will be fresh, we can get our rolls done, we can do our green bean casserole, we can do all those other things in our oven and not have it tied up with our turkey. So everything will come together at the same time for our Thanksgiving Day meal. So let's take a look at this and we'll show you. It's only been in here for about an hour or so. And you can see that I've stuffed it with fresh oranges off the tree, some onion, and I've just wedged them up and stuffed them in there. That's going to give the turkey some nice flavor as it bakes, a roast. And you notice also that I've got the neck down in here, I've got the giblets and things over here. That's going to help with the gravy. And then the biggest thing I hope you notice is I have the back up. And the reason I have the back on the top and the breast down underneath is all that fat is going to come down through the turkey meat and rest right down in the breast. And that's going to make the breast of that turkey just as juicy as all the dark meat. So we'll let this cook and we'll get back to our pumpkin pies. Okay, I've got my crust into one pie pan already. And what I usually do is I just roll that extra pie crust underneath, because when you put the pie crust out here on the edges, it's all for decorations. It comes out drier than most of the rest of your crust, and nobody really eats that anyway. So I just roll them under. So let's show you how to put it into your the pie crust into your pan. Now, of course, I made this up last night. I refrigerated it, rolled it out, and refrigerated it, and had it cooled for overnight. If you believe that, I've got some land in Florida. Actually, I buy the already made crust. It is consistently the same every time you use it, and that's why I get this kind of crust. So we just unroll this. It doesn't matter about the humidity or anything. It's always a good crust to use. It always comes out the same. So unroll this guy. Be careful that you go slow along the end and just kind of squeeze that, because it's going to be a little thicker right down on the start of the roll. Just roll him out there like that. Make sure there's nothing in there. Before you put that in there, you can spray it if you'd like, but this is the stoneware from Pampered Chef, so you don't have to spray. Nothing's going to stick in there anyway, so depending on what kind of pan you're using, you might want to spray it. So we'll get it even in here, about like this. And now I'm just pushing it into the corners. And then after it's all flat at the bottom, what I'm doing is I'm pushing it against the side, trying to bring up that little bit of extra that's off a little bit, so that I'll have a little more crust right at the top to roll under. Just like that. Now to roll under, just take your pie and just pull it away and roll it down. Just like this, and just go all the way around, pulling it away from the side and rolling it down. This way will work better. Just roll it down. It should roll very easily for you. Just go all the way around the pie like this. Don't worry if you get a little extra crust there, because we're going to push it back in. It'll all come out fine. Meaning you get a thicker crust piece there. It'll be fine. Just finish this guy up. Just like that. And then I push it against the side a little bit. Try to seal it back to the side of the pan. Just like that. Okay, I double check to make sure it's all flat in the pan. I've got both of them here. Now we're going to pour I'm right-handed again. Again, this is not going to work, but we'll try it out. So we want to pour it in there. You just want to come up to the edge of the pie, about half of it. Okay, so I just put it into one because I forgot this was a deep dish pie. So if you're going to have 2 deep dish pies, you'll need to double this recipe. Otherwise, you can put it into the smaller pie, excuse me, the thinner pie pan, and that will be, it'll make 2 this way. My mistake, it happens on live videos, and plus I forget, my brain's going dead. Anyway, so back to the pie. So then you want to take a little milk, and milk is going to do just the same as egg, and you just want to do just a little milk around the edge, just like this, and that's going to brown up the crust of your pie. There's a little extra milk along there, that's fine. Just spread it all around, just right around the edge, just like that. Make sure you get the back side of the crust, just like that. Now this is going to go into the oven. Take off the little extra milk that you might have, like that. Don't forget, it's a 425-degree oven. I'll put this guy in for 10 minutes, and then we're going to bring it back down to 350 for about another hour until your pick comes out clean of the pie. So we'll get this pie finished up, and we'll be back when we take it out of the oven, and we'll see how it looks. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back. We've had the pie out of the oven. It was all puffed up, and it's now deflated. It's been about half hour since the pie's been out of the oven. So you want to remember that this recipe does 1 2-inch pie or 2 1-inch pies. So keep that in mind when you follow this recipe. Now keep a watch on the website up here, because I'm going to have this recipe and more for the holiday season on that website. And the next recipe that I'm going to do is going to combine a few of my favorite desserts. One is going to be, it's going to combine cheesecake, homemade brownies from scratch, and pumpkin pie. And it's all going to be together on the next video. So until next time, this is Lynn Sharp with Eating Sharp, and have a great holiday Christmas season. Bye-bye.